corridor of University of Adebayo. Amina was known as the life of the party. With her long flowing hair and captivating smile, she effortlessly drew the attention of many campus guys. Despite her reputation, she had little interest in commitment. She craved freedom and adventure. Yet, after a string of casual encounters, Amina found herself facing an unexpected consequence. She's pregnant. At first, the news felt unreal. Amina tried to piece together her night of passion, wondering who among her many suitors could be the father. Was it Tunde, the charming footballer? Or perhaps Chuka, the quiet scholar with an intense gas? With each passing day, uncertainty gnawed at her. Panic rose as her body began to change and the reality of motherhood loomed over her. Amina felt trapped, tormented by the weight of her secret. She couldn't bear the thought of abortion as the idea of ending a life. Her child was too much to contemplate. As the weeks went by, she concocted elaborate lies to cover her growing belly, pretending to have an intense study schedule, claiming she was participating in an exclusive research project in a neighboring village. Eventually, the inevitable happened. Amina could no longer hide her pregnancy. She had to escape the scrutiny of her friends and family. She packed a small bag and fled to her grandmother's village, a quiet place where she hoped to find solace. There she was a ghost, hiding from the prying eyes of her peers and oblivious family. Weeks passed, and with each day in the village, Amina became increasingly isolated. She spent her time wandering through lush fields, lost in thoughts, while the villagers went about their lives unaware of her burden. She fantasized about keeping the baby, imagining a future filled with laughter and joy, but the shadow of shame loomed large. When Amina finally gave birth to a healthy baby girl, the joy was quickly overshadowed by fear. The reality of motherhood struck her like a thunderbolt. How could she raise a child alone? How would she face her friends and family? Overwhelmed, she made a tragic decision. In the dead of night, with her heart pounding, Amina wrapped her newborn in a thin blanket. Tears streamed down her face as she walked to the waste disposal center on the outskirts of the village. The stench of refuse hung heavy in the air, but she was determined to hide her shame. With trembling hands, she placed her baby in a cardboard box, whispering promises she would never keep. "Oh, I will come back to you, I swear," she cried. Deep down, she knew she was lying. As she turned to leave, the weight of her actions crushed her spirit. Meanwhile, fate had other plans. A wealthy couple, Mr. and Mrs. Abiola, were desperately searching for a child to call their own. They had faced years of heartache and loss, longing for a laughter of a child to fill their grand home. One morning, while on a charity mission in the village, they stumbled upon the box that hid Amina's daughter. The baby's cry, pierced through their hearts, and they knew they had found what they had been yearning for. With love and care, the Abiorahs raised the child, whom they named Grace, showering her with everything a child could desire. As Grace grew, she flourished in her new life, blissfully unaware of the pain surrounding her birth. Back in the city, Amina'S absence was felt. Her friends and family launched a desperate search, fearing the worst. Guilt consumed her as she observed their anguish from a distance, tormented by memories of laughter that now echoed with sorrow. Months turned into a year, and Amina struggled to move on, haunted by the child she had abandoned. She returned to the university to finish her studies, but the shadows of her past followed her, whispering reminders of her choices. Amina became a shell of her former self, feeling the weight of her actions every day. Years later, in a twist of fate, Amina attended a charity gala hosted by the Abiola family. Among the attendees was Grace, a radiant young girl, now 10 years old, captivating everyone with her charm and intelligence. As Amina watched her from afar, her heart ached. In that moment, their eyes met. Grace's curious gaze fixed on Amina, who felt an inexpressible connection, a bond that could never be broken. But before Amina could approach, she was enveloped in a crowd, the moment lost. Amina realized that she could never reclaim the past or the child she had discarded. She was left with the knowledge that her choice had irrevocably altered two lives, her own and Grace's. Amina left the gala with tears streaming down her face, forever marked by the tragic consequences of her actions. And as she walked away, the sound of laughter echoed behind her, a reminder of love that could have been a child forever lost in the depths of her shame.